Hey guys, and welcome to the Farming Pastor's Wife. One day next week, I'm planning on having fried apple pies. And so I'm going to save this video until I make my fried apple pies. But first I got to cook my apples, and I'm wanting to do that ahead of time. So let's get started. Okay, so let me explain why I'm starting ahead of time. I made the mistake one time of cooking my apples the day I was making my, or not really, it's okay to do them the day of, but I did it like right before I did my fried apple pies, and so it was still hot. And yeah, when you put it in the pastry or your dough, it's not a good thing. Does not make for a happy day. So you want to use cold filling to go, or room temperature filling, not hot. You don't want anything warm going in your dough. So I just don't, my life is so crazy, I don't get a lot of times to do things, to think ahead and do things ahead. So I'm just doing it today. And I'll stick it in the refrigerator, and then whenever I get the chance to make fried apple pies, that's when we'll do it, and we'll finish this video. So I'll probably have on different clothes when I finish this video. So let me walk around. Let's get started. Okay, so in my pot here, I'm going to put probably a half stick of butter. And I'm going to go ahead and put in I got a cup of water here, but I'm not going to put it all. Okay, I'm putting it all. So that's a cup of water. And I'm just going to go ahead and put that on low. I'm just going to get that getting warm. Now, when you see how I do my apples, you're going to think, why in the world do you do your apples that way? And I know. And somebody asked me, why do you peel your apples that way? And I said, well, I don't know. They said, why don't you peel the whole apple and then, I need a bowl to put my cores in. And then slice it up. And I said, well, I don't know, but this is just the way I like to do it. But there is a reason. There is a reason. My hands cramp up really bad. And by doing it this way, it gives my hands a little bit of a break. And they'll still cramp up. It'll still happen. But, oh, look at me. Putting the wrong thing in there. I got that for my peeling and my core. But, so my hands will still cramp. But it's not quite as bad as peeling the whole apple at a time. I mean, I can try it. See, I don't know what's going in where. I keep trying to put the wrong thing in the wrong place. I'll try it on the next one. I mean, of course, it won't cramp on the first 2 or 3 apples. And yeah, I probably take off too much apple with my peel. Oh, I was going to try it this way. See, it just doesn't give my hand a break. Kind of when I do it the other way, it gives my hand just, even if it's just long enough to pick up the next apple piece, it's a little bit of a break. You know what? You just do what works for you. You just do what works for you. I mean, this works. Alright, guys. I'm going to come over there and cut the camera off, and I'm going to finish peeling and slicing these apples. And when I get them all peeled and sliced up, I'll bring you back. As I get one or two done, I'm going to kind of put them over here in my pot. Alright. I'm going to come turn you guys off for a second. And I'll be back. Okay guys, I got my apples in the pot and my butter and a little bit of water. And now I'm going to put in a cup of sugar. Ooh, I spilled some. Okay. Going to put some cinnamon in here. Well, that cinnamon has not been opened. Good little sprinkle. All right, I'm going to put the lid on and just let them cook down. We'll come back and check them out in just a minute. I'm going up to a medium high now. Okay guys, let's take a look at the apples. You can see that the liquid is slowly cooking down. And you can see that the apple, let me see if I can find a good example. The apples are kind of getting this translucent-y look. That's what you want, and I want to keep cooking it down till the liquid is pretty much almost gone. Not completely, but almost. So we're going to let it cook on for just a little while longer. Okay guys, I believe the apples are, it still has a little, I mean just an every little bit of juice, but it's going to soak right up into those apples. They're going to kind of become almost candy-like. But so we're going to take this off the heat. I'm going to let it cool, and then I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and store till I'm ready to make fried apple pies. Okay guys, let's make these fried apple pies. I made my apples a couple of days ago, and I'm ready to make my pies today. Now let me explain the craziness of my appearance. I don't know why I always feel I need to explain when I'm looking really rough. But I do. Yesterday was Sunday, and Bryant every now and then likes me to flip my hair outward instead of under. And so I did, and so it was all pretty yesterday, and he refers to it as sassy. He says, Leslie, I like it when you look sassy. And so I was looking sassy yesterday, but today's Monday. I'm always exhausted on Mondays. We go to the chicken house. We and I can't wash my hair every single day because my hair is so dry. So what I do at the chicken house is I wear a shower cap because I don't want the smell getting on my hair. And so not only do I wear a shower cap, but I wear a bandana and then a shower cap. And so that kind of flattened out my sassiness. I'm not quite as sassy today. And but I came home, showered, just really been in God's Word this morning, and I am ready to make some fried apple pies. Now, for my pastry, I like to use Formula L. I've also used just plain self-rising flour, not plain flour, but self-rising flour with Crisco in it. But the easy shortcut way that a lot of people use, and that you see and hear a lot about, is people just opening canned biscuits, flour and everything and rolling them out. Okay, well that's the biscuit dough. So you're going to use your biscuit mix. So I'm not really, well, let me measure just for you guys, okay? And I may have to add to it because I'm not sure how far it'll go. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I'm going to start with 3 cups of biscuit dough, and if we have to make more, we can. Just not quite 1, 2. I'm going to put just a little more because some of those cups were just shy. Alright. Now let me get my buttermilk out. We're going to use buttermilk. You can use sweet milk, whatever you have. Don't feel like you can't do it if you don't have buttermilk. Alright. Now, I usually like my biscuit dough pretty moist. And I like my dumplings pretty dry. So, my fried apple pie dough, I like somewhere in the middle. And I went over there and laid my buttermilk down and just left it. I'm going to have to go over there and get my buttermilk. So I like it somewhere not quite as dry as dumplings and not quite as wet as I like my biscuits. So it's better to pour in a little at a time. And I am not measuring my buttermilk, I'm sorry. But I will show you the consistency that I like it. And in just a minute, I'm going to have to put my hands in there to put just a little bit more just to get up these little crumbly pieces. This is any kind of bread I make, I usually make it in this pan. Although, I'm going to have to go to a bigger pan when I start making loaf bread. But this is kind of my go-to bread pan. Alright, there's still just a few. You see these dry crumbs over here? I want to get those incorporated in. So I'm just going to put just a little bit more over here on the edge. Alright. That looks pretty good. And if it's too moist once I get it, I'm going to incorporate some flour when I roll it out. It may be a little too moist. So we're going to add in some flour when we mix it out. So let me get myself fry some flour. Let me put my buttermilk up and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I've got my self-fry some flour. I don't have, I haven't put it in my flour container yet because I'm wanting a new flour container. Does a kitchen person always want new kitchen gadgets? I know I do. Alright, let's lay that off to the side. And I started using a dough scraper. And I love it. I hate cleaning any kind of utensil that's got bread dough on it in the sink, because then you just get these sticky pieces. They end up sticking in your rag and it's just gross. So as much as I can get out, that's always helpful. Alright, let's get this over here. And I'm going to hang on to my dough scraper. And I've got to make crusty bread tonight. We're having spaghetti and meatballs. And they all want my crusty bread when I have spaghetti and meatballs. Alright. See, we've incorporated most of that flour I put on the board here. And we're just going to keep kneading it around. You want it to be the consistency of a good pie dough. And you don't want it to fall apart when you stick it in the oil to fry. So, I always get my dough a little too wet, but I don't fret about it because you can just add flour to it, add self-rising flour to it to build your consistency up. Now, had I not, I was a little panicky that I didn't have self-rising flour, and that's okay. You could have used all-purpose to dust your board with. But I like the self-rising because I just think it gives it a little more poof, a little more lift to the dough. All right. That's good right there. Let me tear it apart and I'll show you the consistency. It's like a good biscuit, like you would get out of a can. I mean, that's the consistency. It's better than a canned biscuit, let me tell you. We call canned biscuits hypocrite biscuits. They're biscuit wannabes. All right. We're going to give it one more go. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on top, give it one more go, and then... Hey guys, I'm sorry to interrupt this long video. I don't mean to, but I wanted to explain. I'm jumping in real quick because on this video, when I made my pies, when I cut out my pastry or my dough, and when I made my pies, I used this little nifty gadget, which is great, but I realized now that I completed the video that not everybody has that. So real quick, before I finish the video, well, I mean, I've actually already done the video. I'm jumping in and coming in and editing this. So I'm going to show you out of a makeshift dough, a piece of parchment. I cut out a dough through a piece of parchment. I'm going to show you what you can do without having this little nifty thing that I cut out and made my pies with. Alright, so let's get started. Okay guys, so we're going to pretend this paper towel is my dough. And let's say you don't, in the video, you'll see me come around and cut out my dough using this. Now you can use anything. If you want to leave your dough a little bit thick and use the top of a glass to cut it out and then roll it out thinner, you can do that. But look here, the top of a coffee can. Perfect size for a dough for fried apple pies. And you just push it down and voila, we have a pastry. Okay, so what you do is you're going to put your pastry here. I don't have any pretend filling. So you're just going to take a spoonful of your filling, put it right here. Here's your center line of your pastry, and you're going to put it right here, leaving an edge, okay? And then you're going to fold it, well, first, before you fold it over, you're going to take some water or something and just dip around the edge of half of it. You don't have to do both halves. Fold it over and take a fork. You can dip it in flour if you need to, and just go around the edge and crimp the edge just like you would a pie. Or you can come in and crease the edges just like you would a pie dough. I'm sorry I did not demonstrate in the video this way. I just got carried away using my little thing. You'll see I've made a mistake, and so I got carried away with my mistake. And so I'm just wanting to show you that you don't have to have one of those things. But I think I'm not sure what you can Google. I mean, check up on Amazon. I think it's just I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but it's a nifty thing. It's okay. So I don't know where we were before I got interrupted by a phone call. But anyway, that's how you can do it. If you don't have to have one, but they're pretty inexpensive. I just don't know what to tell you to search. Maybe just fried pie folder. I don't know. Anyway, y'all enjoy the rest of the video. I'm sorry this is a long one. I'm sorry. Okay, guys, I have rolled it out a little bit thicker than a pie dough. This is my crimpy crimp that I close my pie with. So I use the bottom to cut out my circles with. I thought I was recording, and guess what? I wasn't. So each round will may need a little bit more finagling because these rounds tend to draw up just a little bit. So I'm just going to give it just a little bit extra rolling. Now, let me tell you why you want to make your dough ahead of time. And I don't mean you have to make it, you don't have to make it days ahead of time, but you want to make it earlier in the day or at least to let it cool. I made it one time and I forgot to let it cool. And I put my filling in there hot, and the biscuit dough just kind of went, I mean, just broke apart. It just disintegrated because of the heat. So always remember to let your filling, and I'm just going to put the filling on one side. Oh, I need a little bit of water. And I'm just going to take my hands, put a little bit of water around the sides. I'm going to bring this over. This little contraption is so cool. And I squeeze, and I want to just rip off this extra dough. Lay it over here with my extra. And I got a little soft there in the back. Let's see if we can fix that. There's nothing you can't fix, guys. You can usually fix anything. I'm just going to add a little bit of dough. And I'm going to get a plate. Alright. And y'all, behind me is, I've got oil and some butter. I'm not going to roll it out this time. I'm just going to kind of pat it with my hands and get it a little bigger. Anyway, I've got oil and some butter in a frying pan. Once I get a few of these made, I will turn it on. But I want to get a good amount going first. All right, I'm not going to fill this one quite as full as I did the other one. All right, we're going to flip it over, squeeze. You don't want to squeeze too tight because it comes out the back. But squeeze around the front, and I just clean off. I forgot to wet my edges, but that's okay. It probably crimped anyway because, like I said, mine's pretty moist anyway. So there you go, a beautiful pie. And I'm just creating a pile for extra dough to, and I'm gonna, that one was a little bit sticky. See, I'm terrible about making my dough. Ah, I just ripped that one. Good gracious. Let's get some more flour out here. Let's get you over here in the flour. Y'all, I like to make fried apple pies when I'm at home by myself because I make such a mess with it. Oh, this one's going to be perfect. This one's going to be absolutely perfect. I can already tell. Let's see. And I'm just going to dampen one side, not worry about both. Get in there. All right, I'm going to flip it over, crimp down. Really not many sides to pull off. Not much dough to pull off. There you go. All right. I'll bring you back when I get enough made to get going in the oil. Okay guys, so I was going to edit my mistake out, but I have actually chose not to. Because you guys need to see that you can fix a mistake. My dough was just too loose. It was just too tender and too fragile. So I just added more self-rising, and I kneaded and kneaded and kneaded away. And so now I actually just have a perfect dough. Let me show you some of the scrap. You can just see, like before, it just fell apart as soon as I pulled it. Now you have, there's some give. I mean, it still comes apart, but it's stronger than it was. So all I did was just add more flour, and I kneaded it and kneaded it till it felt firmer. I mean, and you can actually feel it get firmer. So that's what I did. I was going to just edit it all out and just act like I had started from scratch. But then I thought, you know, they need to see how to fix a mistake if they make one. So, and it will happen. I mean, I've been making fried pies forever. And I make good fried pies. And so mistakes happen. They just happen. And but there's not many mistakes that you can make that you can't fix. And isn't that a good thing? So, my first few pies I made may fall apart when they fry. And that's okay. It's okay. We'll just throw it away. I'll just do them last. I'll just fry them last. And so if they fall apart, they don't mess my grease up. So, alright. I'm going to keep fixing my good pies now. And we'll be back. Okay guys, I've got a good amount of oil, about almost an inch, and I stuck some butter in there, and we're just going to place our fried pies, well they're not fried yet, but our pies in. And I'm going to get some napkins on a plate. And we're going to let them fry. Where is my sugar? I turned it down too low. Oops. Alright, while they're continuing to fry, what I've done here is I've put some sugar in a pie plate. And I'm going to put a few sprinkles of cinnamon in there and then mix it up. Now, I make some plain and some with cinnamon and sugar. I had never had the cinnamon and sugar until I saw Tammy on Collard Valley Cooks, and I thought, oh, that looks so good. Now, it is so weird in my household that all the females like the cinnamon and sugar on the outside, and all the males like it plain. My brother, my husband, my son, all of those like it plain. Let me get something else to help me turn it. I need two. And I probably should start with these. I don't want to tear my biscuit dough. Aren't they beautiful? They're not burnt. I mean, they're just beautiful. So hopefully my other ones, the dough won't be too wet to fry them, but we shall see. I'm going to set this down right here. I'm going to set you guys over here. Lift you up a little bit so you can continue to see and watch. I just need a place to lay my napkin. They're puffing up. I'm going to kind of separate these so they don't stick to each other. Alright guys, I'm going to get this out of here. Alright, let's put our next few in. These are some of my wetter ones. I know that sounds kind of gross, don't it? But these are my mistake ones. But I have a feeling they're going to be just as pretty. I'm saving my worst one. Woo, mercy, look at all that flour. Good gracious. And you just really want to cook them till they're golden brown. Let me get this flour off my hands. Alright, I just rinsed my hands. I didn't wash them real good, but I just wanted you to see how beautiful that is right there. It's really hot. Where's my other one? Look how beautiful they're turning out. So gorgeous. Now y'all can put chocolate, like a chocolate ganache, and have chocolate ones. You could do a cherry filling, a blackberry, a blueberry filling. Fried pies are amazing and they're wonderful. I'll put two over here. I'm going to try to keep men's and women's separate. I haven't fixed the women's yet, but I'm trying to make a spot. I gotta get my spaghetti sauce, my tomato sauce back over here on the stove and make my meatballs. And I gotta make my crusty bread. I got a lot to do, y'all, before supper time. I cook supper about 2 to 3 nights a week for my family. How often do you guys cook supper? Now, it doesn't mean we eat out the rest of the nights. Like, sometimes we eat leftovers and so forth. All right, let me get this other one in there. My last one, this is the one that's probably going to fall apart. I'm going to put it, I don't know which side to go down. That's the one that's probably going to fall apart. And we'll get the rest of them out. Y'all, they turned out so pretty. Even with my mistake. Isn't that good to know that you can make a mistake and it's okay? It can be fixed. All right. I need to clean up, but first, let me wipe off the counter a little bit. I'll bring you guys right back in just a second. Okay, guys, so other than getting it a little bit more done because I was busy cleaning up, even that one turned out. So, I'm actually glad I left my mistake so you could see how to fix it. I mean, I didn't actually show you, but I told you how to fix it. But even the one that was a great mistake turned out wonderful. All right, so let me show you what I'm going to do with the girls. And we'll even, but we don't have an even amount. Bryant's watching his sugar, so we'll give them the short amount. And they can eat it with cinnamon sugar. They just would prefer it plain. So, we'll give them 4. In fact, I think just him and my son-in-law and Judah. And Judah probably likes either one. So, we'll keep 5. All right. So, I have a total of 9, guys. And I probably could have made it 10 if I'd put enough flour in my breading. So, this 4 right here, I mean, these 5, I'm going to make for the girls. And that just means I'm going to, while they're good and warm, I'm going to put them in our cinnamon sugar mixture. We're going to put them over here. Isaac's girlfriend Jessica's coming over, and she loves fried pies. Loves them. See, this is the one I thought would fall apart. I got it a little too done, but it's still beautiful. Ah. See, that's all there is to it. And I just cover it pretty good with this cinnamon and sugar. That's it, guys. I'll bring you back in just a minute for the taste test. Okay, guys, I'm ready to get into one. So I've got me one down here. Let me get you guys turned down. And yes, I could just hold it and bite it, but it's hot, and I do want to pose it for a picture for the thumbnail. So, here we go. I'm gonna just take it Y'all look at that. Yum! Yum. Y'all ready for me to give it a taste? Okay, y'all ready? This sassy haired girl to give it a taste. Mmm. 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 That is so stinking good. Y'all. My family. Got hair in my mouth. My family is going to be in heaven tonight. Homemade spaghetti sauce and homemade meatballs. Homemade crusty bread. And fried apple pies. Mmm. Mmm. Y'all. Why would somebody not like fried apple pies? I got sugar all over my mouth. Mmm. Y'all, that is so good. Well, Isaac got me this t-shirt. And he got me the right size, but they must run really big. And it's huge. And what makes that funny is what it says. My daddy was a pig farmer. Isaac goes to school down in eastern North Carolina, where the hog farmers down there have faced a lot of persecution. Unfair persecution. And don't get me started because I'll get all fired up. But anyway, he got so I have a tender heart for pigs because my daddy was a hog farmer. These hog farmers down east, I just feel bad for them. I want a pig to raise and to be able to butcher for our own meat. Haven't got there yet, but that's what we just don't have a lot of time. So, but anyway, I want you to see. This shirt is huge. I mean, I could sleep in it huge. I want you to see what the back says. Can you see it? Go pig or go home. I think that's what it says. Go pig or go home. So, anyway, y'all, woo, talk about hair. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Thank you for joining me for fried apple pies. Wish you were here. We'd pull up a chair. I'd make a pot of coffee. And we would just sit and fellowship over fried apple pies. But thank you for letting me come into your home and share this with you. Thank you for visiting with me down here on the farm, where if the grease is hot enough, you can fry anything, even fried apple pies. Bye, y'all. Thank you for watching. Oh, and listen, this is a big plea to invite your friends, share my videos. I don't want to do that often, but so over the next few videos, we're going to have a big push for new subscribers. Y'all help me. Yeah. So, because the next giveaway is at 1,000. We're almost at 750 now. So, y'all invite people, share my videos, give me thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.